All right. Somebody tell me what is June 3rd, 2nd, 2, June 2. Um, so we're 5/12 through the year. We're almost halfway through. Hopefully that means we're halfway to our goals on income. Today, guys, what we want to address is the aspect of we are in the midst of summer. Although officially by calendar it hasn't started, but unofficially with Memorial Day, we always have the start of summer. So the question came to mind let's just talk some quick, simple, easy things, maybe some reminders about what we should be doing to be able to grow our business. So no PowerPoint today. It was like, let's just talk. And the first one I got for you is this one. Uh, I'm going to put it as 4 tips for immediate success. And I'm not going to give you anything out of the ordinary. But here's number 1. Figure out your why. You need to know why you do this business. What makes you tick? And we all know, because every time I always say, have a great one, go talk to people. I'm a great example. If you just don't do anything more than talk to people and remind people that you're in real estate business, you're going to be able to do business. You should be able to do 4 deals, $1 million in sales without hardly anything other than by going out and talking to people. So what's your why? Because if we're going to go talk to people, if we're going to pick up the phone on a daily basis and talk to people, if we're going to go out and do the things we all know that we need to do, what's your why? What's going to make you do it? Got to have it. So is it, well, let's take out the basic necessities. We all know that we're going to have, maybe y'all got a car payment, maybe y'all got a mortgage payment. We know that we got to pay the gas bill, the electric bill. We got to have cell phone service now. Typically, you got to have internet service. There's those basic needs that we have to have. And by the way, that is part of the why. We've got to live. So if you wake up today, tomorrow, the next day, if you don't do what you know you need to do, can you live? If you didn't get an income, can you live? Now that takes care of most of you. Some of you, we've done well. We're up in our years and money's going to come in. 65, I've worked hard, I've paid, I got Social Security coming in. Okay. Why are you doing this business? You need to know that why. Is that grandkids? Is it the income that I have coming in from all of my revenue streams not enough? So is it, I want a new car? Do I want some toys? Do I want to travel? Gosh, I like to share. Most everybody remembers our buddy Bob. Bob was all about giving back to the church. Bob did real estate and worked for HRC Realty so he could give back to his church. That was his why. That's why he got up every morning. That's why he did whatever he did. And of course, he loved taking care of us. So, but of course, now he's traveling the United States in a big old fifth wheel. So he's got his why, right? Okay. We need that regardless. What is it? What's going to make you do the things that you don't want to do when you have the option of doing them? And that's what real estate does provide to you. It's a great benefit, can be a huge drawback. Here's number 2. First tip, figure out your why. Number 2, build your database. What's the primary one? What's everything start with? It's your sphere of influence. You've heard me say it. I'm going to remind you over and over and over again. It is the rock upon which you build your business. It's your sphere. So, what do we start with? Guys, we all have cell phones. And that cell phone is a contact list. Most of you have hundreds of phone numbers and names within that phone. If you don't, you're not seeing enough people, you don't know enough people, you're not getting around people. Start with a cell phone. Those people are probably your sphere of influence. How about your email? How about your social media account? Shoot for 250 minimum. Now, I see a lot of experienced faces on with me today. You should already be there. Of course, if it's not, guys, expand it. You must grow your sphere of influence. You must grow your client base. I can label them differently. I can take my sphere of influence and put them into family. I can put them into friends. I can put them into church. I can put them into basketball. I can put them into referees. I can put them into football referees, basketball referees. But I have a relationship with them. They're my sphere of influence. So if I ask you to write it down, matter of fact, just write it down. I want it to be in front of you. How many people would you say are in your database, and most specifically, what you would clarify as your sphere of influence? Write that number down. And then I ask you this. Is it over 250? If it's not, you're missing out. Oh, by the way, here's the other thing I want you to write down with number 2, building a database. 10% return. If you have 250, you should be closing 25 deals. And a lot of you just went, whoa. Because if you have 500, you should have 50 deals. And then it's just a matter of working your sphere of influence. So I know this is a reminder, guys, but if you're not doing 50, I can tell you, if you don't have now let's start it. If you've got 250 and you did 5 deals or 10 deals the past year, here's what I can tell you. You're not talking to your sphere of influence. You don't have a plan in working your sphere of influence. I could tell you that if I was coaching, that's where I'd take you immediately. It's the first place I'm going. What are you doing to work your sphere of influence? It should be at 10%. Otherwise, it may not be that my good friend Jimbo did business with me, but Jimbo referred somebody. That's my sphere of influence. Guys, I've taken 2 listings back to back, and the calls came to me. Who do you think they were from? My sphere of influence. Because somebody said, when you go to sell mom and dad's house, I got a guy. And they referred me. And it was a piece of cake. Another one is a former client. Well, you got to use Darwin. That's the way we love to do business. But you've got to talk to your sphere of influence. You've got to have a plan. By the way, 250 minimum. That's the other note. Number 3. Make this note. And if you're less than 1 year, if you're less than 6 months, if you just got your license, how long does it take to get somebody who will sign a contract? Be it a buyer or a seller, be it a listing or a buyer representation contract. How long would it take to find somebody who would sign one of those? 30 days or less. As a matter of fact, if we could create the proper motivation, you could go out and get a listing today. You could go get a listing today if you had the proper motivation. That might have to be a threat upon your life or somebody that you care about, but you could do it. So if you don't get a listing contract this week, now let's stay with the 30 days that I brought up. If you don't have a contract signed with a buyer or seller in the next 30 days, it's because you chose not to do it. Really, is there anything that would restrict us from doing that? So if we don't have a contract within 30 days, we chose not to get one because we chose not to do what was necessary to be able to make that happen. So really, my number 3, get your next contract within 30 days, is a change in your mindset. For those on that might be brand new, how long did they tell you it was going to take you to get a license? And hopefully it wasn't our manager, or not a license, but to get a paycheck. They say, oh, you better have enough money to be able to live for about 6 to 9 months because it'll take that long to get No. Guys, go get a contract signed, buyer or seller. It's just a choice to do so and putting the effort to be able to make that happen. 4, shadow an experienced, productive real estate agent. Shadow them. Yeah, but Darwin, I've been at this for a while. Well, are you doing what you want to do? Are you current and up to date with what's going on in the real estate market? Are you current and up to date with what maybe some of the new ideas are to be able to go find the business, to work the business? One of the best ways I'd be able to learn is still to this day listening to other agents, the ones that are out there, highly productive, doing the business now. Matter of fact, what I would tell you, offer to take them to lunch. And no, not all of them eat lunch every day because they're too doggone busy and they might be taking it on the run. But shadow and work with an experienced agent. So then here's some general thoughts. I want to start again, work and grow the database. General thought number 1, just work and grow the database. Go meet, go talk to, keep and consciously always thinking, who can I add to this database? If someone inquires on a property, add them to the database. Next thought, get an accountability partner. Preferably, it could be, should be another real estate agent. Could be your best friend. Might be a significant other, spouse. Could be your manager. But you need an accountability partner. Someone who you can go, hey, here's what my week is. This was the week I had. And you can talk and discuss. A good real estate accountability partner is best because you can do the role plays. I can give Max a call and say, hey, here was the week I had this happen. No, what would you do? And we role play it. Max can throw it back at me and see how I did. We can research something together. Max can say, okay, what's your goals for the next week? So write this down underneath. Meet weekly and provide a business plan. Now, that moves to the next one. Use the 1-week business plan. You're going, Darwin, what the heck is that? Well, then go to My Professional's desk and search 1-week business plan. Matter of fact, if you use it directly from there, it's going to send me an email. I get to help out and be your accountability partner if you're using it. But here's the nice part to it. You're saying, hey, accountability partner, I'm going to work 5 days in prospecting. I'm going to work 4 days in prospecting. Maybe it's 2 days in prospecting. In those 2 days, I'm going to put in 4 hours. In those 4 hours, I'm going to talk to 40 people. My goal is to establish 5 leads, set 2 appointments. See, it walks right down as to what you should be doing. So use the 1-week business plan. And oh, by the way, give a copy of that to your accountability partner because you're talking to them, but give them that plan. Send it to them. Wouldn't hurt to give that to your manager, which leads to the next point. Use your manager as a coach. Use your manager as a coach. It would not hurt to meet with them 15 to 30 minutes every week or 2 weeks minimum. Here's another quick one to get summer business. Some of you won't like it because they're best held on Saturday or Sunday, and it's called an open house. Open houses, they work. We've got agents, brand new, who are closing deals because they do a great job on a great open house. We've got an agent out of the Clarkson office who did over $5 million because it was open houses. Open houses will work if you do the right things before, during, and after. And it is before, during, and after. But I always put it this way: where else can you go? Sit on your butt, and prospects will come and say, hi, we're thinking of moving. By the way, just by showing up, isn't that what most of them are? Well, yeah, but Darwin, a lot of them already have an agent. Well, do they have an agent really? Or are they just telling you that because they went to buyer's training school and they were taught that if you tell an agent that you're going to shut off most of the agents and they're going to leave you alone? Be a great agent. Ask great questions. Be the best that they've run into. Be the one who you impress them so much that they'll call you up 4 weeks later because their motivation or urgency has changed. Do open houses. Here's another simple one. How many of you have heard of a pop buy? You've got your sphere of influence. Have you ever just popped by anybody that you know? Well, you do this with your sphere of influence. Hey, I just wanted to pop by, was in the area, thought about you. I've heard people do pop buys with giving a little seed packet because it's in that time period. Now we're pretty much past seed packets, but what are we moving into? Summer grilling season. Maybe it's a spice bottle. Maybe it's your favorite spice for cooking burgers. Maybe it's a bottle of ketchup, or it's the ketchup, mustard, and relish all together. You could come up with whatever level that you'd want to give just to be able to pop by and say, gee, Marietta, I was thinking about you, happened to be in the area, summer season, I don't know, but I just wanted to pop by and give you this. And you hand them, Costco and Sam Covers has them. And it's the ketchup, mustard, and relish all together, one little package. probably $7, $8, $9. Well, for the right people, you do that. Somebody else, it's a seed packet. Somebody else, it's your seasoning. There's lots of things that you can do with the pop buy, or get creative. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank right now, but you give them something that goes along with. And the only one coming to mind right now is ice cream, which is kind of hard during the summer. But people scream about me. I'm thinking ice cream, people scream about my service. You know, anything of that. Get creative, get silly, have some fun with it, but do some pop buys, because the real basics to this, guys, that means you're just going out and seeing and talking to people. What I'm trying to do now is give you some ideas that would make you comfortable to talk to people, to go see people. So let's talk being actively passive, because frankly, that's most of us. Hopefully we're active, but passive in that the active will get the people to call and talk to us. Okay. I want you to think of it this way. It's interesting. Matter of fact, I put it this way. The digital marketing video is one of the smartest moves that we can make. Video builds a parasocial relationship. In meaning this, by the time that you actually get with them, they're really already sold on you, because they feel like they know you, trust you, like you, respect you before you even arrive. So we need to use the social media. So what are some of the things that I could do, either social media that would prompt people to call me, or even maybe it's a mailing, maybe it is a phone call still. But here's one. Be the market update video. Do the market update. You know how easy that is on a monthly basis? Now, I'm real comp, but I think most, if not all, MLSs do this. On a monthly basis, they go, hey, here's what's happening in the market. And if all you did was to put up behind you with a little bit of software editing, it's free. You go, here's what's happening in the market. And because you're the only one doing it, you become the market expert. Start with, matter of fact, do this, start this way. And I've got my notes. You can tell I keep looking down. I'll even show you, I have them in front of me. Start with this. It's really 3 things that you put into your video. One is the hook. Start with a hook. In the first 7 seconds, capture their attention. Here's an example. Is the Metro Detroit housing market about to crash? I don't think so. Here's what's actually happening in Metro Detroit last month. And then you cover some statistics. Break down, second part to this, the content. Break down 2 or 3 simple statistics. What do they want to know? How many homes are selling? What's the average sale price? How fast did they sell? Those are 3 good things that you could point out. Depending upon how quickly you're doing it, maybe you get a 4th one in there. Finish with a call to action. So the 3rd point underneath this market update video, have the call to action. If you want to know more about your specific home and how much it might be worth in today's market, drop a comment or DM me. Most people know DM, direct message, and put it as market evaluation. And I'll send you a free report. So their call to action It could be DM me, text me, call me with market evaluation, and I'll send you a free report. Okay? Second idea that you might use, the neighborhood spotlight. You're going to become the local expert. And it's the neighborhood. I live in Lake Oakland Woods. That's exactly what I could do. So the sellers want an agent who know the neighborhood, their neighborhood, inside and out. So content. Go to a local park. For me, it's right across the road. I could go to a local restaurant. Again, just outside. I could go to Dairy Dream. Talk to an owner. Those are some of the nice features that we've got right around the neighborhood. I can go to, well, here, Taco Tuesday, because El Torres taco food truck parks right across main road from the neighborhood. Great food, great people. You want a 60-second video. Why do people love living in your neighborhood or the neighborhood that you're talking about? It's going to get you listings because the local homeowners see you promoting their neighborhood. They realize that you are the perfect agent for the job. Here's the next one. Listing audits or mistakes video. Now you got to be careful with this because we're not going to call out other agents, but we're going to point out what we're seeing in ways that aren't going to call anybody out. They won't even know that it's their listing that we were talking about. Or, maybe it's a buyer situation, but you're going to become the problem solver. Educate sellers on how to net the most money possible for their home, which means you become a strategist, a strategic consultant, a trusted advisor, rather than just a salesperson or a realtor who's just like everybody else. And you've heard me say this before, realtors suffer from sameness. You can't be the same. 4 realtors all on the corner, all charging the same price. Convenience. Let me go to the one with the most convenience. 4 realtors, one's at 7, one's at 6, one's at 5, and one's at 4. Which one you turn it into? They're all the same. So until there's a difference, it's all about the price or the convenience. Most of the time, it's the price. So you get in there, and here's a quick catch, a quick hook. 3 cheap upgrades that add $10,000 to your home's value before selling. Three cheap upgrades that add $10,000 to your home's value before selling. Where might you find that at, by the way? What might help you? As a matter of fact, if you just did that as a prompt, you can always lip it also. AI, Chat GPT, Open, whatever. Look, they're all out there. Look, Google has one. Yahoo has one. I'm sure, yeah, they all have one. And all you got to do is put it in there and make sure you're asking AI and not just like Google's Chrome. Ask AI. Hey, AI, give me 3 ideas that would increase somebody's value and earn them $10,000. It's a simple prompt. It's just ask it a question. Let's see. The biggest mistake I see sellers make with their online photos. Now, notice sellers, not agents. Again, those you could come up with on your own. Here's another one. Why your neighbor's house sat on the market for 60 days and how to avoid it. Or how about why your neighbor's house sat on the market for 60 days and I sell them in less than 30. So as my notes I put in here, keep it punchy, walk through a house, even if it's your open house that you're doing. Point out things like lighting, decluttering, curb appeal, but don't throw any listing under the bus. Don't throw anybody under the bus. Just point these things out. And sometimes we've got homes that give us a great reminder. And we see these. Sometimes it's just one little thought that as you're walking through or you're showing a home. Here's the last one that I got for you as far as any quick ideas that you might do using social media, any video. Behind the scenes pro production. Now, this one I pulled using AI, and it's marketing proof. So when you get a listing, or even when you're opening the open house for someone else, film yourself what you're doing the work. So the content, show a quick montage of your professional photographer. Just one quick idea, because it's saying, look what I do. This is different. I've got this gal who does all of my photography. Look at how hard she works, the angles she gets, things of that nature. Maybe it's you staging a room. It could literally be moving some furniture if you were doing that. Look, if you use a step-in sign, that. Open house signs, placing them out. And do at least 5 of those so that they get the idea of, look at how many I'm doing. And it's a quick second showing a different background in all of these different places. By the way, can these be performed? So I could set one on one corner and take, how many different angles that'll make it look different. Okay. Subtext. You're showing future to market their home. With everyone else. Looks like I'm breaking up a little bit there. Yeah, there's my slow internet connection. So it's answering for future potential paying for my a compensation for before they even arrive. Okay. Give me a head nod one way or the other on that one. Did that come through without breaking up too much? Okay. I can see you guys still looking good. Then I know it's okay. Let's try it again. So what your answer goes again. Check beforehand. Great. Are we staying? Not yet. Still not doing it. Yeah, I got speed that I can get. Wait for it. Just about wrapped up. There, you're looking better. We getting a little consistency there. We're just about stable. Okay, I'm going to try this again. And if not, maybe it's still not doing it. This is unbelievable. Come on. Well, let's give it a little bit more for you. Maybe I'm not going to skip. No, no. Still, Marietta, is it doing it? All right. Well, let's try this again. So again, this text throwing out there is that we're answering the question of what am I paying this agent's compensation for? What do they do? Well, when we're pointing media, get it there in it. Some key little points. Use what you got. There is no need to go out high speed. You don't need this to do these videos. You do not. All you've got and I think it's a C960. See, it's a 1080p plus camera. That works. This for doing videos. Use what you got. Is a microphone. There you go. See this little bugger here? It is a DJI MIC Mini. It comes in this nice little case, and you can charge everything in this. And inside there are two microphones, and the receiver transmits. I think it was $80. And of course, you guys can hear the quality. I did a test against this going back and forth between this and my Blue Snowball. No difference. No difference between the two. The beauty of this, it's got two microphones. So if you were to sit down and want to do an interview with somebody, you could do that. And of course, the receiver, I can't show you, but, or maybe I can. I'm going to do it. Let's see. It's right. Come on. This is hard. See that little green light? There it is. It plugs into your phone, your computer, and it uses a USB-C. Oh, I'm in real trouble because I can't get anything right. Anyway, it uses a USB-C input. So it'll go into your computer or into your phone. Two microphones. And then all you can do is go out and do this. So bottom line, use what you got. You're talking about $30 to $100 investment. And then here's the other part. You can barely tell, but that's one of those little photography lights. I've got two of them, and I think it cost me about probably for those. Me. So yeah, you can spend a lot of money. Start out, just get the basics. Um, 9 by 16. You want the 9 to 16. Otherwise, portrait, because most people are watching videos on these things. You can also edit things. I will tell you that what I use, Clipchamp. Anybody ever heard of Clipchamp? Microsoft, free. All the videos that you see me do, I'm editing those using Clipchamp, which is free software. Make sure that you got your YouTube channel to where you can upload everything to. And let's see. A great idea, and I've heard this from numerous social media influencers. Matter of fact, I got to say this. I hope, and maybe I'm missing something, but if you're a realtor, are you a realtor or are you a social media influencer? Because I see people titling themselves as social media influencers when they're actually making all their money being realtors. So if you're one of our realtors and I look at your profile page, do I want to see that you're a social media expert or that you are or a social media influencer or that you're a realtor? It's surprising how many realtors I see calling themselves social media influencers. Hey, if that's where you're making your money, great. So anyway, batch your content, meaning this. Put a plan together and on one day, record all of your messages. Record all your messages. Do it all in once and then edit it. Get it posted. You can even get it to where it can set up to go out at a particular time. Last thing I tell you is guys, plan your week. Plan your week for your lead generation and business development. It could be as simple as this. If I'm actually going to call for sale by owners expireds, put that on 1 or 2 days, but plan it. Schedule the appointment for it. So maybe that's Monday. On Tuesday, I'm going to create 3 mini market equity reports or 3 mini market updates because I could do it on 3 different neighborhoods, for say. Maybe that's more direct to my sphere of influence. Wednesday, I could put myself down to record 2 local videos. Maybe it's a business spotlight, and I've got myself set up to talk to 2 different businesses. And that's to be able to build the online business. My daughter-in-law is very good at this. If anybody knows the name Darwin Conley, she is, well, I call her a digital influencer, but she's also a salesman at Feldman Dodge Jeep Eagles. She's a Jeep girl. She's got loads of followers because she's a Jeep girl. Well, she's done things where it's having lunch over here, nothing like having that in a Jeep, right? But mentioning that I had lunch at Jones Ice Cream is going to attract people from Jones Ice Cream. It's going to put me in front of people because that mention was in there. Secure an open house. Go do open house invitations. That'll be Thursday. Door knock those doors on Friday. And then host the open house because you still got to have 1 day off. but it's planning, not just your marketing, but your activity. And the more you plan, the farther ahead you're definitely going to find yourself setting up to be. So, guys, that's what I got for you. I can tell you there's a lot going on with what I'll call putting things together for this week in real estate. Boy, there's a lot of strange things that you guys are running into. Um, as you get those, I always say, don't be afraid to call me. Prasanna and I just had a conversation about something that she ran into yesterday. We've had it to where going and wanting us to sign off, our buyer and seller to sign off on something. Things going on. But as you get those, send them my way. With that, got any questions for the week? Hey, it's summer. Enjoy it. It's a sunny day, as I can see out the Clarkston weather window. Enjoy it. But if you take that time off to go outside and enjoy it, make sure you're knocking on doors, talking to people, or that you've earned that time off. Have a great one.